Hey there, I'm your host Eric, and this podcast is episode 2. We'll be discussing the differences between Android and iPhone in the season, Apple and Google. We'll talk about Samsung maybe a little bit, and OnePlus. I have a guest today. It is my wife, Brianna. Say hi.
Hello.
How you doing today?
Good. How are you?
Good. Are you an Android or an Apple user?
Definitely an Apple user.
Do you know what phone I use or what product I use?
You have a Pixel 4.
Nope.
Oh, was I close?
No.
Oh.
Pixel 3a.
Oh, I was close. I had the right mate.
Pixel 3a Pixel 3a XL actually currently. There's a difference.
Well, I was close.
I
was in the right brand.
Yeah, Android, yeah. So this podcast discussion, I just want to talk about the different products coming out. Maybe we'll talk on the iPhone 12. We'll touch on the new Pixels coming out, the new OnePlus 8 and OnePlus 8 Pro. 8T is on the way. Samsung Galaxy 20s, the Note, what that looks like. And then also we'll hit on the operating systems. Android 11 just came out about 3 or 4 days ago. iOS 14 is slated for the end of this year. Maybe iPad OS. We'll talk about the differences in tablets as well between the ecosystems, what that looks like. First, I just kind of want to talk about the products. We'll hit the new stuff first. iPhone 12 rumors. We don't know a lot about it yet. We're looking like maybe an Apple keynote within the next month or 2 months, and we'll kind of get a better idea of what's going on. Apple did a keynote about 2 months ago, and they discussed the new Big Sur update with the new move into ARM processors, which is a huge deal, but that's a different discussion. We're just going to talk on mobile today, mobile platform. Interesting enough, though, ARM is currently in their mobile platform, so they're kind of migrating the two together. But I just want to talk on, let's touch the iPhone 12 first. So, Brianna, do you know anything about the iPhone 12?
Nothing. Sorry.
Well, that's it for the podcast. Thanks for watching, guys. I'm joking. What phone are you rocking right now?
We just got me an iPhone 11.
An iPhone 11?
Mm-hmm.
Pro Max, or just normal?
Just regular.
Just
iPhone
regular?
11, yellow.
Do you like it?
Yeah, I really like it. I would say that the Face ID is not always 100% accurate, though.
Oh, I thought you're an Apple fanboy, though. You can't talk bad about your product.
I am an Apple fan, but I will say that it's not always accurate, especially with having to wear masks everywhere you go. When you're wearing a mask, you literally can't unlock your phone.
Do you miss the fingerprint reader on it?
I do.
Yeah. I would, yeah. It's okay.
It'd be nice to have both, honestly. It'd be nice to have both as an option. Because then when the Face ID unlock doesn't work, it's honestly annoying to even get to the unlock screen.
Yeah. Yeah, that is kind of annoying. I think the Pixel 4 last year, the Pixel 4 moved to Face ID only, and they got rid of the fingerprint scanner. They put the fingerprint scanner exclusively on their A series line. So the 2 XL still had fingerprint, but the 3 had fingerprint. The 4 was Face ID only. The 4A has fingerprint though, and that just came out for a ridiculous price, $350, which I'll talk about that in a second, why I think that price is so low. And I have a 3A XL, and that's fingerprint only, no Face ID. There's ways to do Face ID if you there's actually a way built in, but if you use a custom ROM, if you root your phone or something like that, then you can kind of get Face ID sometimes, but it's not as good as like iPhone. iPhone actually has a pretty good Face ID system setting. It's got the dot projector, which kind of tries to help at nighttime. It tries to identify the 3D movements in your face and the depth perception. It even will not unlock if your eyes are closed, which we tested that out and that works, which is funny because when the 4XL came out, you could unlock the phone with your eyes closed, which people were like, oh my gosh, security, someone can unlock my phone if I'm sleeping now. And it took Google like 5 or 6 months to patch that, which is pretty interesting. I don't know why it took them so long. But jumping back, Pixel 4a, $350. What did we just pay for your iPhone 11? Like, it was like $700.
Yeah.
Yeah. So okay. So
no, it's a little closer to 800.
So, oh yeah, because we had the higher model. So like around I think it was like 750. So 750 for iPhone 11, which is their bottom model. I mean, they have the SE. The SE is like, let's just look. You know what? Let's just, for looking sake, here. iPhone SE 400, $399 for the SE right now, and this is it's in the body of like a 6 or a 7, I think. Well, that's good.
It has the fingerprint scanner.
Yeah, it has it's got like the design of the 6, 7, and 8 on it. I actually really like that way it looks. $399, that's crazy though.
Yeah, it is really low.
It's smaller, 4.7, but people like the small phones.
I don't.
Because they can
I like a bigger phone.
They can do it with one hand. That's why they like it. Bigger screens, it's hard to use multiple hands on there. So A13 in that too. Wow, interesting. Okay, so iPhone SE $399. That's the lowest thing they have right now. Pixel has 4A for $350, which is $50 cheaper, and in my personal opinion, is a better phone. Maybe. I mean, I'm an Android fan. And then we have Pixel, who's slated to release at the end of this month, a 4A 5G, a Pixel 5, and then rumored Pixel 5S, which no one knows for sure what's happening now. These phones are slated to have the Snapdragon 765G, which is the 5G enabled Snapdragon 765 model. So they're not going to go to flagship, which would be the 865. So Google's not going flagship. Nothing special on these new phones, but they're going for a lower price range because they know that the Pixel 4 XL just did not sell at that crazy price. Plus, they put Soli in it, which was their radar. No one liked it. I mean, I don't even personally know anyone that had a Pixel 4. Like, no one bought them that I know of. Everyone stayed on their 2 or 3s. I think in a couple years, maybe a used 4 around like $250. If you could pick up a used 4 or a renewed 4 for like $300, I would go for it. That would be an amazing deal right now. So maybe we'll see that. But why? Couple things here. I think Google played this really smart. They put out a Pixel 4a for $350, so they undercut the SE by $50. So it's already $50 cheaper. It's smaller, but then it doesn't use 5G, and so at the same time, everyone's trying to jump to 5G now. 5G is the future. Everyone's trying to get on 5G. Google has these 5G phones ready, so they put the 4a out a month earlier, really cheap. No 5G in them, and we're assuming that the 4a 5G is going to be the same phone, same pretty much almost everything, just 5G capable, and it's going to be starting around $499. So we're going to see $150 price difference for 5G capabilities. I think Google's just trying to get out of stock, like get rid of stock, because COVID-19 hit, they delayed phones, things got pushed back, and they're sitting there like, well, we got a bunch of phones that don't have 5G. Like, no one's going to want these if they're $500, $400. Let's just release them really cheap to try to get rid of them. So I think Google played that really well, actually. And they undercut the SE by $50. Like, why not? If you're an Android fan, you could get a Pixel 4a for $350 right now. Like, I almost considered getting one because it's so cheap. Like, it's like $10 a month for like 2 years. Like, I think it's more like 15. But like, seriously, that is nothing. That's like 2 cups of coffee at Starbucks a month. That's insanely cheap when you're looking at like, you know, the iPhone Pro Max going for $1,400, and you're looking at like $50 to $60 a month for 2 years for this phone. When you can buy this Pixel 4a, which is a fantastic phone, you get Google hardware, latest updates, which is something maybe we can hit later, for $350. So why not? I mean, and if you're looking for 5G, you just wait. Because now the Pixel 4a 5G is going to be $499. For $500, you're going to get 5G if you want 5G. I mean, at the same time, any service that offers 5G, you're looking at pretty high expenses. So if you have the money to pay for 5G service right now, you might just be looking for a phone that can already do 5G. That's a more expensive phone like a Samsung. That's like $1,200, $1,300. But so iPhone, like their current Pro Max is like $1,300, no 5G support. It's last year's model. It's just not a good buy right now. Like, why would you spend that much money on a phone that doesn't have 5G? So we'll see. I think if iPhone 12 doesn't have 5G, I'm going to be really surprised. And I think that they're going to miss the market. So they better. My theory is they're going to have 5G. And I think design's going to look, I think it looks from the rumors, the design's going to be more squared. So kind of jumping back to the iPhone. You remember the iPhone 5? Kind of looked more like a box.
Mm-hmm.
Instead of having rounded edges, it was like squared. Looks like
that was like more the original style too.
The original was really chonky.
Yeah.
It looked
and it was
horrible.
More square.
And then they went squared with it, like no curved edges, and then they went curved edges. It looks like they're going to go back to squared.
Oh, really?
A squared phone with almost a full screen. I mean, it looks like the notch is maybe a little bit tighter. So they're going to keep the notch, maybe. I mean, you know Apple, like, everyone's trying to get fingerprint scanner under this glass. Everyone's trying to get front-facing camera that can do facial recognition under the glass so you can't see it. But Apple's not going to do that until it's really good.
Yeah.
And so if they're probably going to keep the notch for another 2 years, 3 years, 4 years. We probably won't see that kind of technology from Apple until iPhone 13, 14, even though it's already on Android. Android already has phones that have everything under the glass now. It's just not done super, super well. And Apple wants to make sure they do it well. Okay, let's jump ship because I've been talking too much. Let's talk about ecosystems here. Let's talk about usability between the two components. We kind of talked about phone prices. Entry level right now, 4A and SE on both sides. $350 and $399. Great prices. $50 difference. Both good phones. No 5G, but good phones. Maybe the iPhone's a better value because it has an A13 chip in it, which is a probably a stronger chip than what's in the 4A. I'm not 100% sure what's in the 4A, but I'm guaranteeing you that A13 is probably going to be faster than that Snapdragon, that minimal Snapdragon. But still, good phones, good hardware, good software on both sides, cheap, get a lot of people on them. Let's jump over to ecosystem. This is where my wife will sing the praises of Apple over here. So I want to kind of throw it over her and let her talk about the Apple ecosystem and her kind of daily workflow with those things. As what products do you own of Apple that you use daily?
My iPhone, and I have an Apple Watch. I have an iPad mini.
Can you let me know what version?
Yeah, I have iPhone 11. I have Apple Watch Series 5. I have iPad mini. It's old. I don't know what it is. It's
like a mini. I think it's a mini too.
Yeah, I think so. I have a MacBook Pro.
Wait, you know what year?
2013.
Yeah, late 2013.
And then I'm working also with a iMac.
That's a little bit older too.
Yeah, I think that's also 2013.
Yeah.
So I am full Apple everything. Everything I have is Apple products.
Older computers though.
Older computers, newer phone, and Apple Watch.
Which is really interesting because actually your iMac and your laptop are end of life this year. Big Sur will be the last update because Apple supports their products for 7 years. So,
which I'm sad about.
After Big Sur, you're can still use it. You just won't have an update anymore.
Yeah,
that's
fine.
Again, this discussion can be another podcast, but Apple is moving to ARM. So I actually think that you're in a really good position right now because people who just bought a MacBook like 2 years ago, 3 years ago, 1 year ago, they're like, crud, I just spent $2,000 on a MacBook and now Apple is telling me my laptop's not going to be compatible with software in like 3 or 4 years. Yeah, that's exactly what Apple's deciding.
That's true. And mine's already at the end of life. So.
You're at end of life. So go 2 years on Big Sur. Who cares if you do that anyway?
I hardly ever update my stuff.
When we got married, I updated it for you. Like, go 2-3 years on Big Sur, and then we'll just buy you an ARM-based MacBook once they've worked out all the kinks.
Exactly.
So I think you're in a good situation right now. Actually, you're in the most efficient money situation if you want to continue with Apple. But I want you to talk about like your workflow. Like, how does iMessage and texting work between all your products? How does that work for you? And is that really convenient for how you work, your businesses, different things like that?
Yeah, no, that's one thing I love about Apple is that it is so user friendly. Things are easily connected between the two. And I mean, I know that with Android and Google or whatever, you can connect all your things too, but Apple is just easy. It's easy for me. I'm not super techie. But that is one feature I love with Apple is that I can text from my laptop or my iMac, especially with work. I communicate with people a lot. texting them. It's a people-based business, and so it makes it really easy when I'm sitting down at my desk and I'm able to text from my computer, especially if I'm having multiple conversations at once. It's just easier to type on the keyboard than it is my phone. So,
well, you can text from your watch.
Yeah.
You can text from your iMac.
Yeah.
You can text from your laptop.
I could text from my iPad too.
You can text from your iPad, and you can text from your phone.
Yeah.
And you can do MMS and SMS through.
Yeah.
Or you can do iMessage.
Yeah.
Through all of your products, and those
every single one.
And those sync in real time.
Yeah.
Really well. How do you text a lot of people to Android, like the green bubbles? Do you text a lot, or do you get a lot of iPhone? How does that look?
I would say it's 50-50.
It's 50-50 right now? That's interesting.
So. No. I think that it's maybe a little bit more Apple users.
It's more Apple users?
I think so.
More iPhone?
Yeah.
Yeah, people like iMessage. That's a common thing. Google with Android is trying to work out RCS right now, but they're working it out. It's a little bit of a mess. We just current knowledge right now. It looks like all 4 of the big major corporations, well, 3, because Samsung or Sprint and T-Mobile are combining. It looks like T-Mobile, AT&T, and Verizon are working together on a new texting platform for Android. This may also hit iPhone, so it'd be interesting to see. iPhone will probably keep iMessage, but they'll like move away from SMS. I really hope they figure this out really quickly, because honestly, like, why are we still on SMS? Is this the dinosaur days? Like, literally videos and pictures are limited to 1 megabyte on SMS and MMS. Like, 1 megabyte.
Yeah, that's true.
RCS allows 100 megabytes. But RCS is not
but
through
Apple
our carrier.
has kind of made a way for that. If you also have an iPhone, then they have the AirDrop, and so they've kind of made ways around that. But it's not super convenient because you have to be next to that person. You have to be with that person.
But when you iMessage someone and it's a blue bubble, you're not limited to that 1 megabyte size anymore. You can literally send up to 100 megabytes.
Yeah, which is nice.
You can send more data. You can send more things and not be penalized. And iPhone has been sitting on this for over 10 years now. They've had, since the beginning of iPhone, they've had iMessage, and Android can't figure this out. And so, honestly, I think that's what hurts. I'm going to say something crazy. People like to use their phone as a phone, a communication device. I mean, we play games on it. We do emails. We do our life. They're computers. But if our texting and calling are not working well, we're not going to use the product, because that's what it's designed for. Especially texting. Texting is everything now.
Yeah.
Texting is 80% of what we do on our devices, or maybe not 80%, but it's more than calling. People don't call that much anymore. And Apple is just sitting here with iMessage for so long. It's just great. Okay, so let's talk about iCloud a little bit with your ecosystem. Do you use iCloud in any way? How does that flow for you with Apple?
I'm pretty sure my iCloud's been full for the past 10 years. Not really 10 years, but
is it convenient to sync photos between devices and move things around, or has that been a nightmare for you?
No, it's convenient if I need something. I really don't ever sync photos to my other devices, like through iCloud, because my iCloud's been full.
And it takes up too much space.
And it takes up too much space, and so I always just like leave my pictures on my phone, and then usually I have you help me take them off and put them on the NAS or put them somewhere safe that I can keep them, or on a hard drive or something. But I don't really put it on my computer, because then if my phone is full, then I move everything over to my computer, then my computer is going to start getting full. So I don't think that I utilize iCloud how they probably want me to.
No. Well, they want you to pay for it.
Yeah, they do. And I won't.
Which, I mean, it's like $1 a month, though, for like 100 gigs.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah. iCloud's so cheap.
Oh, I didn't know that.
So is Google. I was just checking Google. Google has a product software now called or platform called Google One, and I got a year for free by having a Chromebook, which is super cool.
I remember that.
What do you mean? Remember that?
I remember that when you got that.
No, I just did that last week.
Oh.
I don't know what that you're remembering, but I got 100 gigs of cloud storage for free for 1 year, and then after 1 year, it's $1.50, $1.99
a
month.
Oh.
Which I probably won't continue with it, but I mean, why not? I get 100 gigs.
If I wasn't married to you, like if I wasn't married to someone that was techie. What should I call you? Technological.
Oh
If
my
I
gosh.
wasn't married to someone who knew technology and all that stuff, I probably would pay for iCloud for more storage. But because I'm married to you, you just take care of all my things. I just
Yeah,
tell you
but
like, oh, I have this problem,
I think
and then you do
I
it
think
for
that
me.
we should probably pay for iCloud for you. It's so cheap, and you have so many photos. Why not back
That's
it up
true.
somewhere? I mean, honestly, okay. Let me talk about this. Apple does a horrible job with their photo libraries. It is a nightmare. Bringing your photo libraries from iPhone to the computer and then from the computer trying to work with those is a pain in the butt.
That is true.
They do a horrible
They do.
job with compartmentalizing. On Android and Windows, if you're using, even on Android and even with Android and Mac, just how Android does it, I have full access to my device by USB. I can pull over whatever the heck I want, or I can put it in Google Drive and Google Photos and access it through the web. Like iPhones, it's because they use that stupid it's the iCloud photo library app.
Yeah.
I hate
It's
it.
hard
I
to
hate it.
use.
I hate it.
It really is hard,
I
and
hate
it's
it.
confusing. And I feel like I've had
It's-
more problems with that
It's
than anything else.
It's so confusing, and they encrypt all the files inside of it, and it's the folder structure is a pain in the butt. I'm like, I just want a folder on my desktop that says pictures, and then
Yeah.
just put all my pictures in it.
Exactly.
When I use Android and Windows, I can, or if I use Android and plug it into a Mac, I can do that. I can just drag my files over and be like, pictures.
Yeah, that's true.
With the iCloud syncing, it's like,
It's like, wait, where'd my pictures go? Like, no,
no,
I agree.
it's not. They try. I think this is the hard thing. Apple tries to streamline so many things that streamlining just takes the normal basic usage out of it. Good example. Disk utility on Mac. Maybe Mountain Lion or Mountain Lion. It got dumber. They streamlined disk utility. Okay. If you're a basic user, you're probably not even using disk utility to begin with. So why would you take a product that you know more advanced users are using? Because disk utility is a way to format hard drives, format, partitions, like clean your drives, format disks and flash drives. Why would you dumb down a product that more advanced users use? And you can see this with Apple. Apple dumbs down their products. And this isn't an insult to Apple users. This is an insult to Apple. I think Apple almost insults their customers because they dumb down everything because they're trying to streamline it.
Well,
Let's hear perspective.
I think the reason they do that is because like people like my grandma that use Apple products, because the older people that are trying to have technology, trying to have phones, they're not going to be able to use. Is it just too hard for me to think that way? You think? Probably, because literally my grandma has a hard time using her iPhone.
Okay, well let me ask you this then. How do you fix that problem? Do you make the software easier, or do you try to get more knowledge out on how to use your product better? Do you share more knowledge, or do you
giving old people a bunch of new technology? Because then
stop giving old people iPhone 11s? You heard it right here.
No. Because then you have people like me. I love Apple, and I will always have an iPhone. You've tried to get me to.
What if Apple disappears and is not a
well
company anymore?
then clearly I'm gonna get another phone. But I don't.
I'm not saying that's gonna happen. By the way,
I think there's a middle ground, and I think that's why Apple is good, because there's a middle ground for people, the older people that want to use a smartphone.
What if next phone I get an iPhone?
You would never. You got an iPhone one time, and that was when we were barely dating.
iPhone 6 Plus. I liked it.
I know.
But
because you wanted to FaceTime me when I went to another country.
But okay, I actually liked that phone. I thought it was good. I jailbroke it though.
Yeah.
That's why I enjoyed it more.
But you didn't even have it very
But then
long.
I lost my jailbreak. And then there wasn't a jailbreak for the latest iOS. And then I was like, no jailbreak. This hurts me so much.
And then you got another phone.
And then I got an Android and rooted it. But guess what? I've been using Android unrooted for 2 months now.
Oh.
That's
You wouldn't get an iPhone.
I honestly, just being realistic with you, I highly considered it about 2 weeks ago getting an
You're
iPhone.
lying.
I'm not even joking. I was like,
Which one?
because here's my issue right now. I'm having an issue with Google. I like Android, but Google can't figure out what the heck they want to do.
Yeah.
And it's really irritating me because they can't figure out RCS. They can't figure out texting platforms. There's literally a bug right now in Android messages where my MMSs don't go through, and I've been having to use Textra, which is a great app, by the way, but it's been really, really, really irritating me a ton. And you can look up this bug. Like, it literally won't. Android messages right now like won't send MMSs sometimes, and there's like hundreds of forums, and Google has refused to answer this question for about 6 months now. Everyone that I know has switched to Textra because we're all having the issue, and Google will literally not fix it. They're like literally ignoring the community. And so I literally was like, last week I was like, what if I got an iPhone? Because I haven't been rooting my Android.
You would hate it. You would get an iPhone and then you'd like it for the beginning, but then you'd hate it because you're always changing your stuff. You're always changing.
Okay, well, think about this.
You're never just.
I really like my iPad.
Well, that's true. You're always using your iPad.
Let's switch to tablets real quick. Android has 0 good tablets. Sorry, I'm getting really close and really loud right now, but Android has 0 good tablets.
That's true.
In the tablet world, the iPad is the only thing that's worth using.
It really is. The iPad is amazing. Like I use it for.
If you have an Android tablet that you love, please put it in the comments and tell me why you love it. If you're listening and you get this far and you actually want to listen to us talk this long, let me know why. Because literally, if you listen to my first podcast in the beginning, I kind of explained some of my qualifications. I'm not a basic or mediocre or intermediate user of technology. I'm an advanced user. I code my own stuff. This isn't me boasting, but I know a lot. And that's not an ego thing. That's just me knowing. As knowing a lot.
He does know a lot.
iPad is better. It just really is. It worked. And guess what? My iPad is jailbroken.
See, that's what I'm saying. If you got an iPhone, you would like it for the first month because it would be new technology. But then after a while, you're going to get bored because you are always changing stuff.
Do you think I'm bored with my Android right now?
Yes, yeah, because you keep asking for a new phone. And you're always like rerouting your phone. I don't know what it's called.
So how do I fix that then?
You just learn to be content.
Oh, God.
I mean, if you really want an iPhone, then get an iPhone. But if you got an iPhone, you're not going to get a new phone.
You would be happy because then we could iMessage each other.
Yeah, I would. And I could see when you're texting me.
I would turn that off.
No, you can see the bubble.
I know I turned that off.
You can't turn the bubble off.
Yes, you can. You can't. The typing indicators.
No, you can't.
Yes, you can.
No, you can't.
Yes, you literally can. Because when I had an iPhone, I turned that crap off because I don't like people knowing or like the read like the.
Well, yeah, you can turn on and off the red. Like if they've read
and you can turn off typing indicators.
You can?
Yes.
Oh.
I would turn that off.
I love that.
People get really insecure with texting, and when people see that you read their text message and then that you don't respond, people get really insecure. So I turn that stuff off.
Yeah, I don't have that on
because
mine either.
Here's the thing about me. I read every single text message I get instantaneously, and then I put my phone down and don't text the person back.
You do that to me?
No, you're the only person I don't do that to.
I don't know.
But I do that to everyone. And then like all my friends get mad at me. But
I know.
It's life. That's what I do. I'm sorry. I just don't pay attention. You're the only person I text back.
Well, that's good. At least you text me back.
That's because you'll beat me. Actually, I think I text you more than you text me, and you don't text me, and you don't text me back.
Well, because you always text me when I'm in a meeting.
Okay. Well, we're getting off topic now.
Yeah, we are. Sorry.
Android 11, iOS 14.
No one's going to listen ever again.
Okay, we'll finish with this because we only got like 5 minutes left. Android 11, iOS 14. Android 11 came out. I have upgraded my Pixel 3a XL to it. It's a fantastic update. It's kind of revitalized my hope in Android a little bit. It's super smooth. The scrolling, they kind of changed the way the scrolling animations work. It's butter. It hasn't really added a lot of features. Like, it's not like going to wow you or anything compared to Android 10, but it is fluid. You're on iOS 13 right now, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're on the latest iPhone 11.
Yeah.
How do you feel about iOS 13? Because
I like it.
Keep in mind, iOS 13 is almost a year old now, and we're going to be seeing iOS 14 at the end of the year, hopefully, with the new iPhone 12. So you're literally, I just jumped to Android 11, which is new, but you're on an older iOS. How do you feel about 13 compared to what you've used in the past? Or do you just really not pay attention?
I really don't pay attention.
Have you noticed any differences or no?
No. I mean, maybe right in the beginning I noticed some differences. But now that because like you said, I've had it for a while, it's just kind of become normal in what I use.
I am jailbroken on iOS 13.5 right now. on my iPad, and I will tell you this: iOS 13 is definitely better than iOS 12 and 11. iOS went a couple year span of having some pretty bad and buggy operating system.
Yeah.
Your iPhone 8 on iOS 11 was like a nightmare.
Yeah, you're right.
You kept getting
I had a lot of problems.
You kept getting that bug. And guys, keep in mind, I'm an advanced user. So I would wipe her phone, restart it, do different things. Like I know how to jailbreak these things. Like it's not that big. Like I'm not sitting there complaining. You know, I'm actually trying and troubleshooting it with realistic troubleshooting. And her iOS 11 was buggy as heck.
It was buggy. I had a lot of weird things.
You would have like the music app open up at random times on your phone, and you couldn't get it off the screen. And I think that was like a legit bug in 11.
Yeah.
That people had.
Yeah, that would happen all the time.
Yeah, all the time.
Like randomly, I wouldn't even be touching my phone.
Yeah. Weird stuff. Okay. Apple versus Android, what's better?
Okay, I think that the usability for your average Joe, your average person, I feel like Apple is better because it's simple, it's clean, it's the same across the board. You know, it's going to look the same on an iPad, it's going to look the same on an iPhone, it's going to look the same on a computer. Like, it's simple. You don't have to learn how to use it. It's simple. I think it's good for...
Have you seen Mac Big Sur yet?
Yes.
No, the new Mac update that's coming out. It's in beta right now.
No, I haven't.
It looks like iPad OS.
Yeah, see, that's why I'm saying. I think that Apple is good for your average user.
It literally looks like an iPad. They're making the computer look like an iPad now.
See, I'm okay with technology. I mean, if anyone's listening to this, they're probably like, no, you're not. But I mean, I'm not stupid. Like, I know, like, I can catch on pretty quickly. Sorry. And I think it's good for people like me. I think it's good for someone that just wants something simple. I like the way Apple looks. I really do. I like the aesthetic of Apple. It's clean. It's simple. I like it. I like the way that their devices look.
All right, I just pulled up a picture of Big Sur so she can look at that right now. This is what Big Sur looks like right now. Take a look at that.
Yeah, that looks very similar to the iPad.
Well, look at this. Look at these rounded corners. It's really glassy.
I love that.
Look at the dock. It looks like the iPad
Yeah,
dock.
it literally
And
does.
look at this.
It looks like the iPhone. Yeah.
What does that look like? The notification center pulled down,
Literally.
Right? That's what Big Sur looks like
See,
now.
and this is why I love Apple. Because it looks clean. It's simple to use. How something works on my phone that's how it's going to work on my computer or my iPad or whatever. That's why I think Apple is good for your average person because the usability is simpler, it's easier, it's just there. I think that Android is great for people like you who are constantly wanting to, is the right term, jailbreak?
It's called rooting on Android.
Okay, you always are rooting your phone. You like custom things.
Yeah.
That's how you are. I think that Android is good for people
I'm a
like you.
tinkerer. I have to keep my hands busy.
Yes.
Or I get bored.
Well, and also I think that Android is
fast.
good for people like your sister. Like she just doesn't really care. Like she wants a cheaper phone, and so she's gonna buy an Android because you can get a cheaper Android than you can a cheaper iPhone.
But consider this though. We talked about earlier. iPhone SE.
Yeah.
$399.
That's true.
$400 for an iPhone SE using the A13 Bionic chip in it.
Yeah.
Like that's Apple's that's literally Apple's way of trying to get you in.
I think that's good. I think that.
Do you think $399 is affordable for common people?
Yes.
Well, compared to what, $1,200 for the Pro Max? 13?
Well, especially if you do payments, if you do monthly payments, and yeah, it's super affordable.
Well, yeah, that's what is that, like 16, 17 a month for that phone for 2 years?
Yeah, that's really good.
Yeah, that's pretty good. It probably won't hold its value. I mean, Apple holds its value. So trade-ins would be still okay with that. You're not going to get a ton of money from it, but I don't know. It's pretty good.
Well, and I don't know a lot about Android, so I feel like I can't really, I'm not a
Well, you've never used an Android.
I've never used an Android. No. So I'm not a good person to be like, oh, well, this is why Apple is better than Android because of this. But what I can say is I think that Apple is good for, like I've already said, the common user, the average person. It's good for the younger generation. It's good for the older generation. I think it's a good, it's a good product. And like you were even saying earlier, Apple's not going to do something until they can do it really good.
Well, sometimes.
Okay. Well.
Sometimes.
Yeah. So that's honestly why I like Apple. But not only that, but Apple's really good with sucking you in because I have a watch, I have a phone, I have an iPad, I have 2 different computers. I'm in. If I got an Android,
you've spent over $6,000 on Apple products in your life.
Probably way more.
Yeah.
I am in. If I got an Android phone, it would throw everything off.
Yeah, true.
So I'm in. But I like it. I like Apple. I like the way their products look. I like the way that they work. I know it. I like it. But I'm like a more average person when it comes to technology. I'm not stupid. I'm not like, I don't know. You know, I can use it a little bit.
All right. Well, this podcast is getting long. Let me finish it with this perspective. I've always been an Android fanboy, Windows fanboy for a long time here. And I would argue anyone, oh, don't use Mac. It's dumb. Don't use Apple. It's dumb. Don't use iPhone. But here's the thing. I kind of feel like I've grown up in this the last year. If you like the product, you like the way it works, you like the way it looks, it works for you, and you're happy with it, continue using it.
Yeah.
I'm not going to sway you one way or the other. Right now, for $350, you can go buy a Pixel 4a. Right now, for $399, you can go buy an iPhone SE. You're going to get two great products that pretty much work identical to each other at this point.
It just comes down to preference.
It's literally almost the same thing. If you get the iPhone, you get iMessage. If you get the Google, you get RCS. And you get like the Google Assistant software and whatnot, which I think Google Assistant's better than Siri.
Yes,
Siri is horrible. They need to redo Siri.
She's not horrible.
She's pretty bad.
She's listening.
You need to redo Siri. It's pretty bad. But here's the thing. At the end of the day, just use what you like.
Yeah, I think that's what it comes down to.
Like, just use it. If you like Mac, use Mac. If you like Windows, use Windows. Like, the products almost do the same thing nowadays. They almost run the same software nowadays. You should just work with it. You should just move yourself according to your workflow. If your workflow requires you to use an Android and Windows, use Android and Windows. If your workflow requires you to use an iPhone and workflow, I don't mean what you're actually working on. I mean just what you do in life. If you're a video game player, obviously you're on Windows, that's what you're doing. If you're a coder and you're a web developer, maybe you're on Mac, because a lot of people like to use Mac for web development. If you're just an average user and you just use Netflix and YouTube, then who the heck cares what you use at that point? Maybe you're using like a Chromebook for all I care. Chromebooks are super cheap. You can buy a $300 Chromebook right now and watch Netflix and YouTube on that thing. Hulu, whatever the heck you want. Amazon shopping, great product. Literally, I own a Chromebook, and it's a great product. Or you can buy a tablet, buy an iPad. $350 for an iPad.
It just comes down to your preference and what you like.
Yeah, but I'm not gonna sit here and sway you one way or tell you that you're dumb if you use one thing or the other. Just use what you like. All right, thank you so much for listening. Thank you, Brianna, my wife, for coming on the show. Do you have any last words?
Me. Nope.
All right, thank you so much for listening. If you have any topics that you want me to cover, please put that in the comments. If you like the show, like it, and if you really like the show, maybe subscribe. And if I get a bunch of subscribers, then I'll throw myself a pizza party, and that'll be really fun for me, not you, and because I like pizza. And
I get to have pizza.
Yeah, my wife gets to have pizza if you subscribe, so please subscribe. And thank you so much for watching / listening. Got him.